Hello from HWg Group. In these videos, we want to walk you through the initial setup of the Perseus device, explain the meter variable condition sequence, and how to send an alert email. Welcome, and let's start. Here you can see a window of the HWg Config tool, which we all use to find a freshly connected device in the network. As you can see, the tool is pretty simple. You just click Find Devices. The application scans the local network for you and shows you all available HWg devices there. As you can see, I have a Perseus monitor in 150 listed here under the IP 192.168.0.129. And here in my browser, I already have the device up and running. Today we will need only two tabs. On our left side, the monitoring tab, where we can see the meters, variables, and conditions, and the control tab, where we will use the actions, targets, and the emails. This is the homepage of the Perseus Monitoring 150 device, where you can see the mainboard meter that is integrated into your device and the diagnostic uptime counter. I already have my one-wire thermometer physically connected to the one-wire port of the device, but it's not added yet. In order to add it to the Perseus, we have to go to the Monitoring tab and the Meters tab next. Here you can see all the protocols supported by the Perseus platform. This time we're interested in a one-wire thermometer, so we go to the one-wire tab. As you can see, there are no connected sensors yet. In order to connect our thermometer, we have to click Scan, Scan Meters, and here we can see our one-wire thermometer. We check it, and we click Save. The one-wire thermometer was successfully added to the Perseus platform, as you can see by clicking back to the meters or to the home page, where you will see a newly connected sensor with its current reading. Perseus platform from HWg Group introduces a new philosophy on how we control connected sensors, detectors, and even other devices. Now, everything that you connect to the Perseus device would be a meter, and meter can have one or more variable, and each variable can have one or more conditions. Let's take a look at that. Here we are at the Meters tab, where we see our freshly added one-wire thermometer. We click on it. Here is a page on the meter where you can see the details, the configuration, and the variables that are available to you. Right now, we're interested only in the temperature variable, so we click on it. This is the configuration page for the variable, where you can also see different configuration options, the details of the sensor, including the graph of the current reading, and conditions, which are empty now. To create a condition, we click a plus button on the condition for a specific variable. The condition was added, and as you can see now, the state is alarm high because the current reading from the thermometer oscillates between 2410 and 2420 degrees Celsius, and the minimum state is 0 and the maximum state is 0. Please note that your alert of any kind, whether it is email, SMS, or call, would need to define the minimum and the maximum state, and the possible hysteresis and the delay of the alert. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will set the maximum limit to the 25 degrees Celsius. And click Save. As you can see, the state changed to OK because the current temperature is inside the min-max parameters of the condition that we created. In the Monitoring Conditions tab, we can see our newly created condition, the meter it does belong to, the variable, and its current state. In order to proceed further and really send an email alert, we have to define actions and we have to define targets. In order to do that, you click on the condition you want to operate with. Here is the configuration page of a condition. Again, with some configuration parameters, the maximum temperature that we've set on the previous stage, the schedule, and the actions, which are now empty. In order to create an action, you have to click on the Create New Action button. As you can see, right now there are no predefined actions, and we have to select the correct type of an action we want to add. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will use the email action. So we click on email, and we name it temperature alert. Then we click on create. Here you can see our newly created action, again with some configuration parameters, and the things that we need to do in order to proceed. And those are the template for the email that you would be using and the action target that would receive the alert. You have a pre-installed email template number 1, which we will currently choose for our temperature alert. We click on it, and we click on the Save button. Now we have our template defined, but we still have no targets for this alert. So we click on the target settings. Here you can see that currently there are no targets for any type of an action, so we have to create a new target. In order to do that, we click on the New Target button. Here you have to define a name, an email address, and a phone number. And click Save. Now we have our new target created, and you can see that in the Actions tab, under our temperature alert, there are still no action targets, which could be changed by pressing the Edit button and checking the newly created target, which is Alex Kozlov at akozlov@hwg.cz, and we click on Save. Now, almost everything is prepared for us to receive our temperature alert. In the Control Actions tab, we can see our newly created action, with its unique ID, the name we set, the type of an action, and if it's currently enabled or not. We can click on this action to see the configuration parameters, more importantly, to check the action targets we've created for this particular email. The only thing we have to do further for you to send an email alert is to define the parameters of your SMTP server. In order to do that, we go to the Control Email tab. Here you can see that you will need a SMTP server with its address and the address of the sender, which would be our Perseus 150 device. For the purposes of this demonstration, we created our own SMTP server with the name Perseus test.digital.cz. And we have to define the from address, which in our case would be the Perseus 150 at digital.cz. And we click on the Save button. You can right away test the parameters of your SMTP server, and if everything is correct with your server and with the device you would be sending your alert from. In order to test that, I will fill in my email address and click on the Test Email button. Here you can see the debug output, where we can see that the email was successfully sent by the device using our own SMTP server. And we will wait for a few seconds in order to receive an email notification. There you go. This is our test email that we've sent to ourselves using our newly configured SMTP server from the device. And now to the real test of an email temperature alert. Please note that all the actions are triggered by conditions. So in the Monitoring Conditions tab, we can see our only condition for the connected one-wire temperature meter with its only variable, which is in the OK state. To continue, we click on this condition, where we can see its configuration parameters and actions. Here you can see that the maximum temperature we've set on the previous stage of the 25 degrees Celsius is set, but there are no actions assigned. So we have to assign our only action with the name of the temperature alert to this condition to send us an email alert. We check on the temperature alert action and click the Assign button. Now, the action temperature alert of the email type is assigned to this condition, and the only thing we have to do to receive an alert email is to exceed the maximum set temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, which we will currently do. I will warm up the thermometer a little bit to raise its temperature, and as you can see, the state is already in the alarm high, so we're only waiting for the device to send us an email alert using the SMTP server we set in the Mail tab. And here's our temperature alert with the default template that we are using for the alert. As you can see, the alert came in just a second after the temperature exceeded the set maximum value of 25 degrees Celsius. Thank you.